Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Farzy Show. Nice to have you along here. The Farzy Show brought to you by Destination Retirement here at the Steven Singer Studios. You might look at this week and say, the Sixers aren't playing. Obviously, the Eagles are done. We just went through our first Sunday without football. What is there to talk about? Well, there's never a shortage of anything to talk about here in Philadelphia, especially when you got a starting battle to talk about now. As we talked about yesterday with Kai Carlin, the starting five of the 76ers apparently has caught some steam. This has built up some momentum as to who you're going to have in your starting five to go along with James Harden and Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Tyrese Maxey. There's a debate between Danny Green and Matisse Thybulle. Who would be in your starting five now that James Harden is here? Some people are looking at Danny Green saying, I got to get that shooter's touch in there because Matisse Thybulle certainly doesn't have it. And then other people say, well, Matisse Thybulle is the better defender. I got to keep him in there. And at least he attacks the rim. That would be me. That would be why I would keep Matisse Thybulle in there. Who would you keep in your starting five? We'll discuss that. I can't believe this. I think I'm going to set a personal record for talking about college basketball. All right. Now, that maybe is something that would happen during the week the Sixers aren't playing, as it's Harden week, and we're all waiting for Friday. However, when it comes to this week, we had the bonkers situation happen in Michigan, between Michigan and Wisconsin, with Juwan Howard getting suspended for the rest of the season, albeit 5 games. Phil Martelli, longtime St. Joe Hawks head coach, is now the head coach, at least interim, of the Michigan Wolverines. So that's where we're at with them. Then last night, I'm flipping around on the old channels, and I come across Villanova taking on UConn. I didn't know this, but Villanova had never swept a series with UConn through the season. That's interesting. I never knew that. So last night, 1-point game, Colin Gillespie, shout out Archbishop Wood. I watched that kid win a city championship for Archbishop Wood over Newman Goretti, I believe it was. And he's dribbled up the court. 1-point game, Nova's losing. He is trying to go coast to coast, gets the inbound pass, dribbles past defenders, goes to cut to the basket, and a charge is called to end the game. I can't think of too many instances where a charge was called to end a basketball game, but it was the deciding call. Yes, the game was at UConn. Legitimately, I'll let you know a little bit later on whether or not I think that was actual charge. So we got them to talk about today, and then we also have the Philadelphia Flyers. Just take everything I said yesterday and apply it to today, because it was the same thing yesterday, just less goals, at least for the Flyers, at least. One thing I will say, the term snake bitten yesterday, I totally dismissed, and it crossed my mind yesterday. Okay, hold on there, Marc. Is this team snake bit? And I got a text yesterday from a friend of mine that was going down to the game, and they said to me, you think they'll pull it off tonight? And my response was, you mean, another blown chance at the end of the game? Yeah, I think they'll pull that off. I think they'll do that same thing again. But have fun, enjoy the popcorn and the crab fries and all that stuff. Sure enough, I thought fate would be a little bit different for my friends because, let's see, early on in the game last night, I see William came in. He had an opportunity within the first 2 minutes of the game. He got stopped by St. Louis. Then a little bit later in the first period, I think it was Lindblom had a shot that hit off the post. Lawton. It was Lawton that had the shot. That was a breakaway situation. He got stopped early in the first period. Later on, Lindblom hit a crossbar. And then the Blues get possession of the puck, and they score in a little scrum in front of the net thanks to Braden Shen. Nice to see you again, Braden Shen. That was a Ron Hextall export. So then all of a sudden the Blues are up 1-0. Then let's go to the third period where all the magic happens for the Flyers. We always say good teams find a way to win games. Bad teams find a way to lose them, or at least can't hold on to a lead or any type of momentum that they're trying to establish. So last night, the Flyers going up against the Blues. They go into the third period. They're losing 1-0. Oscar Lindblom gets the puck on a stick at the point, blasts it home for a tie score, 1-1 with under 12 minutes to go. 11:51 mark of the third period. Then 40 seconds later, after the Flyers work their asses off to try to tie this game and make it something, maybe force overtime, maybe even get a win. Who knows? Let's get cocky. Let's say maybe even win. 40 seconds later, the Blues come right back and score. And they take the 2-1 lead. They add 2. That's right, not 1, but 2 empty net goals. and the Flyers lose that game. I saw the shot of Ivan Provorov skating off the ice, slamming his stick on the bench as he was stepping off the ice, and I think that's the frustration. I mean, I can't call him on it, but I'm pretty sure that was frustration. Yeah, just a bad hockey team. And Martin Jones, who's in for Carter Hart, who's got the eye infection, actually played great last night. I just can't believe what I'm watching with the Fly. I had a lot of hope for this season. I had hope that after they fired Vigneault, they would turn things around after they fired Vigneault. It wasn't the case. It's not meant to be. And I saw Claude Giroux get interviewed after the game for his press conference. He addressed the media. And he doesn't know what to say at this point. Mike Yeo, I played you his comments from yesterday. He doesn't know what to say at this point. There's nothing you can say. There's only things you can do, and that's play better. But I just don't think it's within this team. Put it this way. I think even the most pessimistic Flyers fan can think, you know what? They're better than this, right? They're better than 2 wins in 2 months. They're better than that, right? And that was only a 2-day stretch where they won back-to-back games somehow magically. They won back-to-back games. Even the most pessimistic Flyers fan has to look at it and go, they could be a little bit better than this. It shouldn't be that hard to be a little bit better than this. The goal differential in the season, I always go back to the 3rd worst in the NHL as far as that goes. And now, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a matter of waiting for the trade deadline and then waiting to see how bad you can be between now and the end of the season so that you get that better first-round pick. Let's just cross our fingers for that and see how the Flyers do for the draft, because that's the point that we're really looking forward to. It is disheartening, but before I go further, here is your head coach, Mike Yeo, yesterday after the loss.
You worked that whole 3rd period to tie the game.
Yeah.
You give up what turns out to be the game-winning goal.
Right.
How do you explain that kind of response?
Well, obviously it's difficult. That's what we got to get to. Winning teams do what they did tonight, and you respond after a situation like that, and we have to get to the point that we've talked about this a number of times. There's been a number of times this season and even in this last couple of weeks where we've given up goals to shift after a goal. Those are critical moments in the game. You've got the momentum. You have to reestablish it right away. You have to get back on your horse and get back on the attack. And obviously we got on our heels right away and ended up in the back of our net.
That pretty much sums it up there. Just take that cut. Let's just keep on rolling it out for the rest of the season. And that's pretty much what we're going to be looking forward to with the Flyers all season long. So that'll be for the remainder of the season. Let's talk about something else for a second here. For the last couple of weeks, I have teased something. It's not a personal announcement. I mean, it's personal because it has to do with me, but it's also a professional announcement. First of all, let me just say the show's not going anywhere, doing the show. But over the last year, I was contacted by some people from Rothfeld Productions. Now, they produce a show called multi-Emmy winning Rothfeld Productions. And they reached out to me about getting involved in this show called Greatest Sports Legends Then and Now. Originally, Greatest Sports Legends was a TV show that aired from the 70s to the early 90s. And it covered everything. It covered, Reggie Jackson. It covered Mickey Mantle. It covered all the greatest sport, Wilt Chamberlain, Charles Barkley, all the great sports legends. It did interviews, legends interviewing legends. Reggie Jackson was interviewing people. Paul Hornung of the Packers was interviewing people. Like, so many different people were interviewed by this show, and they had so much great content that Rothfeld Productions said, you know what? That show went off the air almost 40 years ago. Let's revamp it with some of the new legends that we have seen since 1992, which I believe is the last day of the final broadcast of Greatest Sports Legends. So they reached out to me and they said, Mark, you got a great background in sports radio. We need dialogue help here to make the debate a little bit more lively. Can you help us with that? And I said, absolutely. So they sent me a couple of scripts. Long story short, and about a year later, they actually started to bring me in on camera to work on the show. And I am absolutely thrilled to announce that right now on PHL 17, as well as a whole slew of other markets across the country. That's right. This is a nationally syndicated sports talk show that is covering debate of the greatest legends from then and now that I've been involved in for the last year of production. And you can watch it locally on PHL 17. I believe it's 3:30 on Saturday afternoons and across the country. Check your local listings, as once again, it's a nationally syndicated TV show, and it stars. I'm just a guy for the most part in the background, folks. So let me just bring this up to you. Here's the website you guys can go to if you want to check out some stuff. Greatest Sports Legends Then and Now. Greatest Sports Legends Then and Now. GreatestSportsLegends.com is what you would check out, and you can see your listings there. You can find out more information about the show. Here is a familiar face, by the way, that is also on the show. You might see there to my right in the photo, Greg Murphy. Murph himself is a host on this show. And to my left here on the right side of this picture is a gentleman named Wes Hall, who is he's originally from Southern California. He's a sports broadcaster out of NBC Sports Washington. And Wes has been on this show. Murph has been on this show. I met Wes through this show. We went back and forth once while we were both at the NBC Regional Sports Networks while he was in D.C., or he is in D.C., and I was at NBC Sports Philadelphia. And we went back and forth. And anyways, great guy. I always liked him. And now was an opportunity to really get to know him over the last year of working on this show. And Murph, I have known for years. And it was just so much fun doing this show. And it's a bit of a passion project. But no, we've just had a lot of fun over the last, last year working on this, doing table reads, a lot of virtual meetings and all that. That's generally speaking where I do most of the show, from a back booth there, going back and forth with the guys as I play the role of a producer on the show and do some on-camera stuff as well. So that's out. I actually started getting text messages as it actually went on the air last week. I started getting text messages from people seeing the show. So we finished our last run of taping for a while yesterday, and I finally got the green light where I can start to promote it myself. So there you go. That's one of the things I've been working on over the last year, and it's been a lot of fun. I've got some background in TV production and obviously our camera stuff as well. So that's what I've been working on, and it has been a blast. And I'll say this. One of the phrases I always hate, and Steve Martirano, former WIP host, is a guy that I just admire the hell out of. And Steve Martirano, shortly after his last show at WIP, we went out to lunch. And I was just talking to him about the business and all this other stuff. And Steve is just one of these really creative people. And Steve always had a line about younger people saying, that was before my time. Steve's line was, yeah, so was World War II, but the Nazis were bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things you shouldn't miss. And if you're a huge sports fan, you can't just say, I don't know anything about Bart Starr, or I don't know anything about Will Chamberlain, or whoever. This show, Greatest Sports Legends Then and Now, the revamp of the show that I was working on with Murph and Wes, is basically taking that concept and throwing it out the window, saying, no, there's no more before my time. If you're a older sports fan, you can relive a lot of those old memories with this show. If you're a younger sports fan and you don't know that much about Will Chamberlain, you don't know that much about Paul Hornung, whoever, you don't know a lot about the things that happened before your time, you watch this show and you get the best of both world. So locally, again, PHL 17. I'll be on PHL 17, as a matter of fact, with my good friend Jason Lee being interviewed for his show, The Sports Scene, this coming, that'll be Saturday night. But I'll be interviewed for that on Friday. So we're really excited about it. It's been a lot of fun to work on. Some amazing people, great director, Brandon Goulash, who, by the way, was the director, if you remember the show Dangerous Grounds with Todd Carmichael from La Colombe Coffee here in Philadelphia. He was the director on that show. He traveled all over with Todd Carmichael for that. He was the director on this show. He's done a whole slew of other things as well. The people that I got to meet behind the scenes as well as get to know a little bit better on camera, just a whole lot of fun. And really what it comes down to, we're all just a bunch of guys that like talking about sports. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So make sure you guys check that out whenever you get the opportunity to do so. Tweet about it and all that stuff. I know I'll be tweeting about it as well. We want to make it the talk of the town, right? Or the talk of the country, because it's national. Even though, as you can tell, they wanted me to have the Philadelphia hat on. And I am wearing the Philadelphia. They brought it to me and it just says PHL. And I was like, I just really love the airport. The Philly airport's my favorite. Give me a hat with the airport. Anyway, so that's that. Hopefully you guys check out the show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And some great lunches. Oh, my goodness gracious. The lunches we had at this show. All right, anyway. So check that out whenever you get the opportunity to. All right, now let me bring you into this. Yesterday, and no guests today, by the way, I was at the studio taping for it was a late night. But anyway, I got home just in time to watch the end of the Flyers game. But yesterday, we got into this conversation with Kai Carlin about Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey. And I know a lot of people have talked about whether or not you should have either in your starting lineup. Who's the guy that should be in there with James Harden? James Harden, a good shooter, obviously, great shooter, obviously, can distribute the rock as well. So who are you going to have out there with him? I am still very much in the camp, as I have been really since the maybe third week of the season. Matisse Thybulle needs to be in your starting lineup. He is that great a defender. I mean, we're talking about a defensive player of the year candidate as a guy that a lot of people think should be coming off the bench. He's that good. Well, if he's that good, whether or not he could bomb threes for you or not, he needs to be in the starting lineup. I think when you grade everything out here, the better fit for the starting five, when you need someone to play solid, not just solid, but great defense, elite defense, Matisse Thybulle is the guy I want in my starting lineup. The counter argument, so that's where just to get out of the gate, where I stand at all this, Matisse Thybulle stays in my starting lineup. Now, let's get to the numbers here, and this is what people don't like about Matisse Thybulle. This year, we've all been talking about Matisse Thybulle's three-point percentage hopefully going up. Oh, man, if he can really evolve into a 3-and-D guy, oh, man, he'll be great. Okay. The last 3 years, Matisse Thybulle, 35%, 30%, 28% this year from beyond the arc. That's the opposite direction of where we would like that to go. Danny Green. This year he is shooting a whopping 37% from beyond the arc. That's almost 10 full points higher than Matisse Thybulle. And I get that. But is 37%, is that justifiable for the 1 or 2 threes that he'll be taking per game? Now, this year, he's attempting just under 5 threes per game. He's hitting 2 of them, just under 2 of them so far this season per game. I don't trust Danny Green, and I think his shot has been way off this year. And this is even an example of 37% where, yes, numbers don't lie, but they do deceive. Because I think offensively speaking, when I watched Matisse Thybulle versus Danny Green, I feel the Sixers have a better opportunity to score with Matisse Thybulle on the floor than they do with Danny Green on the floor. The reason for that is I know the game is all about threes, but Matisse Thybulle at least attacks the rim. He at least cuts to the basket. He at least has speed. He at least has quickness. And when you talk about a near 10-point differential in three-point percentage in favor of Danny Green, I think it's even double that in terms of defensive advantage you have on the floor with Matisse Thybulle out there. Because, yes, Danny Green is good at man-to-man, one-on-one, playing the guy that he's assigned to play. But he's not forcing turnovers like Matisse Thybulle's forcing turnovers. He's not jumping in passing lanes and creating offense down the other end. I think the better player all around for the 76ers on the floor with this starting five, without question, as far as I'm concerned, is Matisse Thybulle. The Sixers are a better team with him on the floor. It's not just about three-point percentage. It's about overall scoring ability. And I'd rather have my guy creating offense, creating turnovers, which in turn is creating possessions for this great offense. That's what I rather see. I'm always a believer in starting your best five. Matisse Thybulle is one of your best five. Put him out there on the floor, get the jump on the opponent, and make sure that you're creating offense with your defense the way Matisse Thybulle can. And I think what he does on the floor will make up for the fact that he's not good at shooting threes. I would love for him to be better at shooting threes. I know he's working on shooting the three. You see him in the game shooting threes. They very rarely go in. 28% of the time, as a matter of fact, they go in. So for me, I think overall, all the other things Tyrese Maxey does well is a lot better than what Danny Green does well, with one exception. One, and that's shooting the three. Defensively, not even close. Matisse Thybulle's the guy. For anyone that thinks it's close, I don't see Danny Green's name getting mentioned for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't see anybody else championing that cause. And it's not like I hate Danny Green, love Danny Green, think he'll be great off the bench. I'm fine with that. I've been happy with him coming off the bench. But with this team, I think the better play is to have Matisse, Thybulle in your starting five and Danny Green come off the bench. I think that's the best play for this team. Everything else that Matisse Thybulle does great is the reason he should be on the floor. The one thing Danny Green does better than Matisse Thybulle is hit the three. And I don't think that's enough to get him into the starting lineup. I need a guy that's a little bit more all around, a little bit more versatile, a guy that will cut to the basket to try to throw one down, a guy that will create offense with his defense the way Matisse Thybulle does. I go Thybulle over Green. What say you? Who plays in the starting five come Friday when James Harden makes his 76ers debut for this squad? You know what it feels like? I don't know. There's a lot of things in sports that just feel like it drags on and feel like it just takes forever. I would always say in baseball, it was the day after opening day where everybody has off. It's that built-in rain delay type thing, postponed thing. Like I always hate the second day because we get so amped up for baseball season. At least I used to get so amped up for baseball season where I'm like, all right, here we go. We're going to do it. Here we go. And it's like, it's every day. It's going to be great. And then baseball's every day. And then except the day after it starts, then it's every day. So that's where I'm at. I look at this week as a long, drawn-out week that I just can't wait for Wednesday when James Harden takes the floor for the Sixers. And you know what? I know I'm not alone here. I know somebody else is in it with me.
This is going to be awesome. But now let's do this thing.
There is the guy starting things out for the Sixers with Matisse Thybulle in that starting lineup. So that'll be nice. So you guys let me know in the comments, and I'll get to you guys in our chat check when we cover it all. Let me get to this because it's something that's on my mind, and I just can't get over it. I'm not a Villanova fan. I don't root against Villanova. I don't hate Villanova. I hated them when I went to Temple. And then you figure the Big Five is such a brotherhood that I just like, I can't root against a Big Five team. I can't hate on a Big Five team. But that being said, I'll watch basketball. And last night I'm watching Villanova. And I'm watching the tail end of the game. And I see Colin Gillespie dribble up the court. And I have never seen a game end on a chart. At least nothing jumped to mind. And it's a very controversial call. Villanova was going for the win, obviously. And Colin Gillespie makes contact with the UConn player, and there's a lot of controversy over whether or not it was a charge, whether or not you even make a call in that situation if you're the referee. You got to make a call. You can't lose possession of the basketball when there's heavy contact and have no call. That is, no matter what state, like even the end of the game like this, you got to make a call. And I feel in this situation, again, Villanova, I don't hate you. I don't root against you by any means. I can't root against a Big Five team. But that was a legit call. It was a legit charge. If you didn't see the game last night, check it out. Punch up the highlights. It's a weird way to end it. And yes, I realize the game was in UConn and that factored. Oh, hold on, there's the ref just doing some home cooking here because he's in Connecticut. No, that's the right call. It was the right call made in that game. I know, highly controversial to end a game on a charge call, but it was a legit call. If you haven't seen it, it's a wild one. Go ahead and check it out. The other thing is Phil Martelli at Michigan, like I said earlier, taking over for the now suspended Juwan Howard. Phil Martelli is one of the funniest sports personalities I've ever met, ever talked to, and I've interviewed him a number of times. Phil Martelli, I've talked to you guys about going to Herb McGee's basketball camp when I was a kid, when he was a guest speaker. The same camp, Phil Martelli was a guest speaker. And I'll never forget meeting him and talking to him when I was just like a 12-year-old kid. Is how the first time I met Phil Martelli. And Phil Martelli came out with a line that he didn't even mean to be funny, but this is what he said. He goes, I told my players, look, I'm not Juwan Howard. I can only be Phil Martelli. And I'm like, really? I would have confused the two. Juwan Howard and Phil Martelli. You guys look very similar. But he had a great message to his team where he just said, look, we're not going to change anything in the last 5 days. We're not going to change anything in the last 5 games of this season. We're going to continue to play that we've been playing all year, and I think that's the best thing he could do in the situation that he's in. Look, I got no allegiances to Juwan Howard. And if he's let go, if he is fired, if they decide not to bring him back, I'm rooting for Phil Martelli, man. I'd love to see him as a head coach in the NCAA again, running a team. And think about this. Look, I'm not nothing against St. Joe's. Again, another Big Five team. I can't root against them. But imagine going from St. Joe's to Michigan. St. Joe's to Michigan. That's a nice little jump for Phil Martelli. So I'm rooting for him. If anything does go down past what has happened, and quite frankly, I think it should, I'm rooting for Phil Martelli to get that job out there in Michigan. So, hey, look, they have 14 wins on the season, 5 remaining, get to 19. You can start talking about the NCAA tournament, although obviously a bubble team for Michigan. So we'll see how that all plays out there. There was one more thing I wanted to get to with you guys, and I'm hoping – I know a lot of people are out there thinking about the Eagles quarterback situation going forward. And I know now that Ben Simmons is gone, a lot of people can get back to the conversation of, you know what? Do you think that Jalen Hurts is the guy? And I'm not excluding myself from that situation. We will get to that conversation a lot more between now and training camp and all that. And I believe it was yesterday was the first day of franchise tags in the NFL. You can franchise tag, you can franchise tag a player today in the NFL. So people have been talking about Davante Adams out there in Green Bay, and even that conversation was pushed aside by Aaron Rodgers going on the Pat McAfee show, as he does, every Tuesday? He's a guest on the Pat McAfee show, and he talked about his future in Green Bay. Right now, and it's funny what you have to attribute this to, Aaron Rodgers is coming out of I think it was a 2-week cleanse. You ever done a cleanse? I have yet to do a cleanse. People have suggested doing a cleanse. I don't think it's for me. However, after eating all these crew lunches over the last couple of weeks, maybe a cleanse is what I need. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers said he came out of a cleanse feeling grateful. And he just felt so great. He just felt so grateful, and he felt love, and he felt respected, and he just wanted to give that love and respect out to the world. So he put out a whole bunch of posts on his Instagram about his fiance, even though it's his ex-fiance now. I don't know what the deal is, but whatever. That's his personal life. But he put a picture out of how grateful he was for her. And he put out the picture that really stuck with a lot of people of Randall Cobb and Davante Adams standing on the sideline in the game that Aaron Rodgers missed due to his positive COVID test, saving a spot for him in the line when they were listening to the national anthem. Very nice. Teammates supporting teammates. Beautiful thing. He said that really got him. That made him cry. That made him feel touched. Then he had a meeting most recently with the Green Bay Packers front office. And at this point, for all the people that are saying, Aaron Rodgers, you can get him here in Philadelphia. He doesn't want to be there in Green Bay. For all the people saying that right now, not the best time to roll that one out, because Aaron Rodgers seems like right now he wants to be back in Green Bay. He said he got a different message from the front office saying that they want to support him and they want to make this team as good as they could possibly make this team. And at least right now, it seems like Aaron Rodgers is more open than ever to returning to Green Bay. It's not what we thought it was at the start of the season, where this would be his last go-around with the Packers. And then after that, he could come to the Eagles. There's a lot of speculation right now. If he does leave Green Bay, the Denver Broncos could be the perfect spot for him. There's some talk about maybe Tampa being the perfect spot for him. There's a lot of talk about where Aaron Rodgers could end up. But that talk only comes to fruition, or has a chance of coming to fruition, if Green Bay and their quarterback, their franchise guy, their MVP, looks at them and goes, you know what, it's not working out. Let's separate. Let's go our separate ways. And let's just enjoy the rest of the run that we have left. None of the other stuff happens unless Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay do decide to part ways. And right now, it seems like Aaron Rodgers is just fine and dandy with everything in Green Bay. We'll see how the offseason progresses. We'll see what they do with that free agent Davante Adams and see where he ends up. They could franchise tag him, and there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. And the other thing is Aaron Rodgers would probably have to renegotiate some stuff. If he really wants to keep that team together, they want to run it back, as the kids like to say, they got to cook in the books a little bit. And I think it's going to start with Aaron Rodgers' contract. So we'll see how that works out. Before we go any further, let me tell you about our good friends at Destination Retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Seibert, RICP, a financial advisor for Eagles fans only. You heard that right, folks. Eagles fans only. His firm, Destination Retirement LLC, is a full-service planning firm and affiliate of 1847 Financial. Let Mike Seibert Create a written financial plan for your accumulation years as well as your distribution years. With pensions few and far between, you're on your own when you come to retirement with only a 401k or an IRA. So let Mike help you turn your assets into an efficient income stream that you can't outlive. Mike Seibert is here to put a plan in place to help you retire. And if you're already in retirement, put a plan in place to alleviate you from people's biggest fear, running out of money. Come on, Eagles fans, with stock market volatility and taxes probably going up, you need someone as your financial head coach with the experience to tackle these obstacles. With over 30 years in the financial game, Mike Seibert is a seasoned veteran who is committed to helping Eagles fans get to and through retirement. You can reach Mike at 484-275-6035. That's 484-275-6035. Mike will get back to you from Destination Retirement, and he'll talk to you about how he can help. And as always, go Birds, baby. Go Birds. Now let me tell you about Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, looking to get engaged? Looking for the perfect gift? Steven Singer has got you covered. He's got you covered with real jewelry experts that will walk you through everything, a phenomenal website at IHateStevenSinger.com, and as always, the perfect price. Every single day, the perfect price. So when you go into Steven Singer Jewelers, you know you're not getting taken advantage of. You know you're getting treated with respect. You're getting treated like family. Because those other jewelers, you know what they do? They say, I hate Steven Singer, because he makes it so easy to buy a diamond and so damn affordable as well. Other jewelers mark things way up just to mark it down a couple of $100 in front of you, just to make you feel like you won something. Steven, no. You got the perfect price when you walk in there. So you know the person next to you isn't paying less than you. Oh, they negotiated better. I should have said something. No. Taken care of from the moment you walk in like a real family member at Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every single day. The other corner of 8th and Walnut, and online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. One place, one price. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's Steven Singer Jewelers. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about the great people of Rothman Orthopaedics. Remember the old you? Remember the one that didn't have to put up with a fickle knee, a finicky hip, or a shoulder that now no longer does what a shoulder should do? The Rothman approach to orthopedics is here to get you back to being you, back to running, walking, working, playing, back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments available, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. You know, I think about my grandparents. I think about when I was a kid. My grandfather would be putting up with that, fickle hip or finicky knee, whatever it is. I think about myself now when I'm bouncing Lil Toots. She likes to, when I bounce, Daddy, bounce, bounce, bounce. I bounce her on the sofa, throw her up in the air, bounce her on the sofa. You know, I couldn't do that a couple of weeks ago. I told you guys I had that shoulder issue. Went to Rothman Orthopaedics. They gave me some workouts, some exercises, some therapy to do at home. Guess what? Lil Toots is back to bouncing on the sofa again, man. You get back to being you, back to playing with the kids. It's the greatest thing in the world. And I have Rothman Orthopaedics to thank for that. That's RothmanOrtho.com. RothmanOrtho.com, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Let me tell you about the amazing people of WinView, the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who is the biggest sports fan? If you have those friends and family members who think they know everything about sports, challenge them to a WinView contest. Download the app on your phone and play away with WinView. See who knows more. See if they can walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. Oh, my God, shut up. Well, shut them up with WinView. That's a good way to look at it. It's not a sports book. It's not daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where fans can win real money prizes for making predictions on the games that you love so much. So do what I do and play on WinView and have yourself a good time and win real money prizes. Never go wrong with that. Also, shout out to our friends, at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Now let's jump into the chat check, ladies and gentlemen, see what the good people of Philadelphia, good people of the world have to say to us today. Kevin, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. I believe Wednesday, I got Ashes today, right? Ash Wednesday, is Lent starting up? What are you giving up? It was like, when I was younger, it was like, what are you giving up for Lent? And then when you got older, it was like, you don't have to give up something. You could also do something. As long as that something is a sacrifice. And I'm like, I think I'm going to go with that thing that I do something. I'd rather add to as opposed to take away from. So that's a caveat that I didn't tell you in the younger years of Catholic school. Anyway, Marc Zines. What's up, Mark? How you doing? John, what's happening, my friend? Nice to see you. Sean, James right out of the gate. Tease. All right, that's one vote. Let me see here. I'm going to try to keep track and make sure I can do this. All right, Tease, one. Let's go Tease, and let's go Green. Let's go Green. Reduce your carbon footprint. Tease, one vote for Tease. All right, that's from James. I think I got you, James. Dante, good morning to you. My people. Tim, good morning. Dante, hello again. Mike Fuji, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good morning, Mark. And Peeps, happy hump day. Will Claude get traded? Yes, Claude Giroux is getting traded. That's going to happen. I have no hardcore inside source. I'm just telling you, it's by far the best for both parties. I don't think the Flyers are going to re-sign Claude Giroux. The Flyers are going to go through a massive rebuild after this year. And Claude Giroux is not going to be a part of it. So, yes, Claude Giroux gets traded. I don't know the value he has. I said yesterday I wanted to get Taryn Hatcher on today. I'm an idiot. The Flyers played last night. I wasn't going to ask Taryn to come on after, she just did post-game or anything like that. Let's see. Flyers have been some – Mike Fuji says there's been some bad Flyers teams, but this is an all-time low. Definitely is. John Cheesebro, good morning, Farzian Society. Thank you, John. Mullet petition. What's up, brother? Nice to have you. John, thank you very much. Congratulations, Farzy. Maybe this will help with an extended Farzy show. Oh, maybe. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Murph is awesome. Murph is the best. We'll get Murph on again. We'll get Wes on again, and we'll talk about the show. We'll promote the show a little bit, and we'll have ourselves a good time with that. I promise you. We have a poll going up here in the conversation as well on Matisse Thybulle versus Danny Green, so we can maybe update that a little bit later. Let me just move that for a second. Here we go. Sean, good morning to you. John, it's been a few weeks. Who is our target isms for the for mild inconveniences? All right, there we go. Danny Green's reputation as a shooter is what keeps this conversation going. But now that Harden's here, the emphasis on Green's history isn't as important. Okay, John. April. Hello, April. Good morning. Good morning to you. This is John again. Green's now reached the point where he can just stand there, catch the ball, shoot uncontested, and go on about his business. But, if he shoots in, here's the thing. I can change. We can all change. We can all be better people. If Danny Green shows that he can continue or really hit that outside shot with consistency, which I don't feel like he has recently, if he can do that, then yeah, I'll be swayed. I'll change my philosophy if he does that. And I meant to look that up to see what he was doing more recently. More recently in the NBA, and now my computer doesn't want to work. So that's fun. We're all having fun. We're all having fun here. I'll get that to you in a second. But so far I got one vote. I got 2 votes for Tease. I think there's votes for Tease. Let's see. Mike Casey, why? Why thumbs? Why again? Waking up thinking about those blocks. Mike, what the hell? Darian, what's up, Darian? Nice to have you in. Eric, what's going on? Cody, I hate Nova. And I understand why. I remember being at Temple and the Nova kids chanting safety school and all that stuff. And I was like, well, that's not original. You go to a good school like Villanova, you should be able to come up with something better than that. Cody, screw the cats, go Owls. Owls kill cats. That's true. YouTube it. Thank you, Cody. Dan, good morning, my friend. Dante, I laughed my ass off. Don't mess with Cody. Dante, so Martelli is the one to blame for Farzi's milkman free throw shot? Actually, no. Herb McGee. So at this thing, it was pretty cool. It was at CB East High School in technically Buckingham, by Doylestown. And that's actually where I would have went to high school if I didn't go to Archbishop Wood. If my mother was having public school, I would have went to CB East. Anyway, but it was Coach, was it Matt Silk? Mike Silk? Coach Silk was the coach at CB East. And CB East ran a basketball camp that I went to for a number of years. Herb McGee was a guest speaker. Phil Martelli was a guest speaker. Some guy that played in Europe was a guest speaker. I think he went to LaSalle. But anyway, Phil Martelli played a game called Swish. And the game, it was like knockout from what I remember, where it was like more points if you swished it as opposed to hit the rim. And he still played that with St. Joe's players. At least that's what I asked him. The first time I officially interviewed him on WIP, I got to ask him that question. And he was like, oh, yeah, we play Swish all the time. I still teach that at the camps a lot. But Herb McGee was a guy that taught my old coach, Mike Carty, how to shoot free throws. And Mike Carty then taught me, and I still shoot a basketball the same exact way, which is why I'm so damn good. And that's why I hit that shot on the Wells Fargo Center court. But anyway, I don't want to brag. But Dante, thanks for the question. Oh, fire that man because he told me to shoot. Whatever. John, nice to have you. Brett, Goongate. Wow, Brett. I was at that press conference. Yeah, I was at. All right, that's a quick one. So the Phil Martelli, not Phil Martelli, the John Calipari, John Chaney press conference happens after Temple versus UMass. And I was maybe 11 or 12 years old. I forget how old I was when that happened. But I saw John. That was my first introduction to John Chaney. We weren't living in the Philadelphia area. We were living in New Freedom, Pennsylvania, which is in York County at the time. And I remember watching the post-game press conference with my dad, or it was probably ESPN, and it was the highlights, and they showed John Chaney running in. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kick your ass. And I remember being this little kid being like, damn, that guy's pissed. And then years later, I end up going to Temple and following John Chaney and be like, oh, that was the guy that was pissed. And then I'm a senior at Temple. It was a Big 5 game I was covering for the Temple column. Big scoop. And I remember Ingram went into the game, and we were all like, what the hell's Ingram doing in this game? And then John Bryant's arm got broken. And then after the game, John Chaney, I will never forget it. I'm sitting in the press conference. John Chaney's coming down the hallway, and I hear that same voice from the I kick your ass press conference where he's trying to kill John Calipari. And I hear that same voice here, John Chaney, and I've been to other press conferences that year. He was never this mad about anything. I hear him in the hallway. I don't want any more ACC officials. I don't want any more ACC officials ever ref another game. And I'm listening to all this, and I'm like, oh, God. And then coach comes in, fee-fi fo fumming, door flies open, sits down, and he's like, and he's just pissed, glaring at all of us. And I'm like this little student reporter, right? This little adorable, full head of beautiful dark brown hair student reporter. And side note, and John Chaney is just going off about the officials. And he gets asked about the officials. I think it was Mike Kern opened up the question. John. It was the officials? I don't know. And John Chaney says, I'm going to do things the way we did them in the old days. I'm going to send in a goon. And then I remember thinking, and John Chaney's getting suspended. And sure enough, he was. And what really sucked was I had an interview lined up with him the following week for a student thing we were doing. And, that got canceled nonetheless. But I was at Goongate, and I'll never forget it. The following year, Ehemiah Ingram, who was the player that broke John Bryant's arm, went out for the football team. He went out for Temple football, and he played Temple football. And then John Bryant, I don't know if he still is, but I know he was on the Sixers coaching staff, ironically enough. So anyway, there we go. Brett, there you go. There's a story-invoking comment. Dan Schwartz, sorry I'm late. Did I miss the Flyers chat? Did it go something like, they blow, don't watch them? Yeah, pretty much. John, thank you. Did a juice cleanse, but it was only for a few days. Well, I thought like a general cleanse is like 3 days, right? Is that what it is? Where you just like drink a bunch of juice and you like go to the bathroom a lot? April, love me some John Chaney. Met him at my graduation. What a great guy. He put out some great teams. He absolutely did, April. We didn't get to experience those teams. April, I know we're around the same age. We had Marty Collins. That was the Marty Collins-led Temple Owls. That was not a good era. That was not a good era for us. Marty Collins got punched. Marty Collins stood me up for an interview for another project. And then a year later, Carmelo Anthony punched him in the face. And I was like, I kind of like that Carmelo Anthony. Anyway, let's see what else we have. Darian. No more telling me who we're talking about? John, I agree. I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to run it back. Like I said, Rodgers is going to have to cleanse himself of some money and give it back to the team. And you know what? That's not unheard of, obviously, in the NFL. Not unheard of. Dan, what else? Dan, Aaron Rodgers' cleanse included induced vomiting and oil enemas. I wish I was joking. What the hell? Aaron Rodgers, long-haired hippie Aaron Rodgers, is off-putting. I will just say I find that off-putting. I don't know why I find it off-putting, but I find it off-putting. But the oil enemas, I mean, okay. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for that information. I will not ask your sources. Mally went down a scary rabbit hole on CT Thumbs. Just say it was a scary night. Mally, what the hell? I think it's the green screen. You stand in front of the green screen, you stand in front of chroma key, it makes everything, appendages look a lot skinnier. I don't know. She's a beautiful woman. That's all I'll say. She's a beautiful woman. Darian, I'm missing another inside joke. Welcome, Darian. You hearing anything about Sealski yet? All right. What is a CT thumb? Asked Darian. Mally's explaining it. That's very nice. All right. I'm skipping. This is too inside, even for us insiders. Darian, you also must have hate Sealski. All right, Darian. Darian, you're being baptized by the Farzy show. There you go. Congratulations. Sean, nice to have you. No thumb talk. Working. Oh, come on. I hate when this thing jumps around. Give me a second. We're saving children now? Oh, another vote for Matisse Thybulle. Okay. So far, no votes for Danny Green. Another vote for Thybulle. 4-0 is the score right now, according to what I think I've kept track of properly. PJ don't want to cleanse. Basically, they just make you lose weight by pooping. Okay. April, is it a faster way to lose weight then? Because I'll tell you, late night feedings, it's usually me feeding my kid, my 3-week-old, and then me eating like a bag of popcorn, which is not the way to go. Wow, a lot of education going on today. Darian goes Thybulle as well. It's 5-0 for Thybulle. Marc, go volunteer in an animal shelter for Lent. Animals are nicer than people anyway. April, that's a good idea. Let's see. Preferably nothing where I have to leave the house. Because I was shooting the TV show, I haven't been around the house a lot over the last 2 weeks. So I can't really leave the house a lot right now. Gotta help out the missus. Although my mother-in-law's been here. That's been nice. Let's see. Save the kids. Eric, good morning. Brian, good morning. Calling them blocks. JK, I love PJ. That's very nice, Mac. God bless you. Oh, stop it. AKA public. No. The old school term. Who's saying this? Is it JD? JD saying Farzi's too good for us pubby kids, AKA public school kids. No, you're just a public. Oh, he's a public? That's the lingo. That's the Catholic school referring to public school lingo. Although I will remember this. For those that don't know, a lot of the Catholic schools, they have what's called shuttle buses, which I always thought sounded really cool. Like it was, you take a shuttle, like a shuttle. Now it's not the case at all. It's just another crappy bus that you would have to take. You'd have to take a public school bus to the public school, and then a Catholic school bus would pick you up from there and take you to the Catholic school. And that was the shuttle from the public school to the Catholic school. But the thing is, we couldn't go into the public school because we didn't go there. And they would literally drop you off with all the kids that were public school kids. And you're the only one in like a golf shirt and khakis. And you're sitting out there and they get off the bus. You have to stand outside. And then like waves of other buses looking at you like, what the hell are you doing here? And then your bus comes, and then you get on. And I just remember that moment as a kid being like, these other kids are judging the hell out of me. And it was like, that was the fun of the shuttle bus. That's how that works. I haven't thought about a shuttle bus till right now. I haven't thought about a shuttle bus in 30 years until right now. John Cheeseborough, sick Cheney impression. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mac. I appreciate it. Josh, I was a ball boy for the Goongate game. Josh, we were at that same game. Oh my goodness. Hold on a minute. I got Nehemiah Ingram's socks, and he signed them Goon. Still have the socks. Josh, send me a photo, please. I'm gonna need that. Is it right next to your Kevin James? Is right next to your Kevin James shrine? Dan Schwartz, are you upset they weren't signed with love from Kevin James? Julian, Farzi's an old man for writing the votes like that. Oh, what else do you want me to do? Is the bag of popcorn fiery hot? No, this wasn't fiery hot popcorn. That wouldn't be the best idea. Like trying to feed my kid, and I'm like, drink this. Yelling at my kid to drink, like 3-week-old. Drink! I'll yell at him to drink when he's older. Good father-son bonding. There you go. Thanks to everyone that participated in the chat. Oh, yeah. I'm not getting into the Cosby stuff. No, thank you. Evan, good morning. I missed you, Evan. Nice to have you. JD, I got miss anybody else? I think I got everybody. Julian, I got you. JD, I got you. Mac. Brian King, what's going on? Eric, I got you. Andrew Shaw, hashtag save the kids. The mutant. Excuse me. The mutant comment. Did I make a mutant comment? Somebody else make a mutant comment. I often make mutant comments. Oh yeah, no. The popcorn. Yeah, we advertised that on the show. It was great stuff. Sean Gillespie. Now hold on a second. Sean Gillespie, golf shirts and khakis brings me back a lot of memories of laughing at the Catholic school kids. A guy named Sean Gillespie. I don't know. I assume you're a guy. Sean, SHAWN. Sean Gillespie. That is like the most Catholic school name you could ever have. Sean Gillespie. Unless your mother's Jewish. Then I think the rules are you have to be Jewish. I didn't make them. But that's what my Jewish friends told me. You take the religion of the mom. If you like David Cross, the comedian, he's on Arrested Development, for those that don't know him. David Cross has a great bit about growing up Jewish in the South. Do y'all's people like oatmeal? It's a great bit. Anyway, thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are phenomenal. Thanks for the chat check. Appreciate you guys as per usual. Sixers back on the hardwood Friday night, 8:00. Matisse Thybulle in the starting lineup. We'll see how that goes for everybody. Taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Philadelphia Flyers will go for their third win since December 30th. Oh baby, they'll go for their third win since December 30th. Wow, they're off till what, Friday? Is that a Friday? That is a Saturday. They're off till Saturday, 12:30 against the Capitals. So the fun only. Josh Weinfeld confirms Judaism law. You are what your mother is. So there you go. Sean Gillespie is telling me African American. He's African American. Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying the name itself, Sean Gillespie. It's like Brian O'Donnell and Sean Gillespie, the most Catholic school names you could ever have, but very nice. Yes, T-Bro, hers fiery hot, absolutely delicious. I'm glad you guys remember those. Thanks for joining me today. That was our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Be back with you guys tomorrow. I will reach out to Taryn today and see if she'll talk some pucks with us and maybe let us know what the trade value will be for a guy like Claude Giroux in the not too distant future. Third win since December 30th. That's pretty good. I only wish it was, Dan. I only wish it was. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be back with you guys tomorrow. And yeah, go ahead. Greatest Sports Legends then and now, greatestsportslegends.com. Give that a look as well. Thanks for watching The Farzy Show. presented by Destination Retirement, live 6 a.m. every day. New episode drops from the Steven Singer Studios. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Take it easy.